Hare Krishna, dear devotees, let's chant Japa with Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Don't చెప్పండి
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let us recite Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 11. Does anyone need to go first?
Yes, Mataji, can we go first?
Yes, Mataji.
Me too, Mataji.
Okay. Okay. Aditi Lata Mataji and Arunita.
तेषाम् एव नुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नाशयामि आत्मा भावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भस्वता To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Tesham evam kampatam aham ajnanajam tamaha nasayami atma bhavasto jnanadipena bhavasataha. Translation.
Bhasvata.
Translation. To show them special mercy, I dwell in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Saujanya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandot Pranam, Sal Guru Srila Prabhupada, rest of the assembly devotees.
Dandavad Pranam Mataji. Jai Shri Prabhu.
Tesham evanukampatham aham agnanajam tamaha aham agnanajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavasto gnana deepena bhashvata. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Isha.
येषाम् एवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानचोतमः नाशयाम्यभवस्तो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness of ignorance.
So we'll go in order now. Does anyone else need to go? We'll go in order. Achintya Dev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Mataji.
Sorry. Tesham evanukampartham
Tesam ivanu kampartam
aham ajnanajam tamaha
aham ajnanajam tamaha
nashayami atma bhavasto
nasayami atma bhavasto
jnana deepena bhasvata.
jnana deepena bhasvata. Translation. To show special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Rasapriya.
Tesham evanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nasayami atma bhavasto jnanadipena bhavasata. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the silent lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavad Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Tesam evanukampatam aham agnanajam tama nashayamyatma bhavasto gnanadipena bhasvata. Translation. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Narsimha Leela Chaitanya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Namaskar, Sal Guru Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavad Pranam Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Tesham evanukampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nasayam ye atma bhavasto jnanadipena bhavasvata. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Hare Krishna. Others are not.
Okay, Prabhu. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Tesham evanukampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atmabhavasto jnanadipena bhasvata. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Prajna. Later.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Tesham evanukampartam aham ajnanajam tama nasayami atmabhavasto jnana dipena bhasvata. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Inba Inya.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Tesham evanukampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayamyatma bhavasto jnanadipena bhasvata. Translation. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
Inya.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Tesham evanukampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayamyatma bhavasto jnanadipena bhasvata. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with a shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
Prabhuji and Mataji are there.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Tesam evanukampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayamyatma bhavasto jnanadipena bhasvata. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Thank you.
Thank you. Prabhuji is not there.
Yeah. One minute, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Tesam evanukampartam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atmabhavasto jnanadipena bhasvata. Translation of the Srila Prabhupada. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Vindhyavali Mataji.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
तेषामेवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं तमः नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वतः. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. To show them special mercy, I dwell in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you. Yes, sir. Narsimha Leela Chaitanya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Teshamevanukampartam aham ajnanatam अहम् अज्ञानतं गमितमः नाशयामि आत्मभावस्तु ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. Translation. So then, special mercy, I dwelling in the heart in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness burning of ignorance.
Okay, that's all. Okay. Bhagavad Gita 10:11. Tesham evanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayamyatma bhavastho jnanadipena bhasvata. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So we will discuss a little bit about this verse, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. So the verse prior to this was, anyone remembers what is 10:10? 10:10, anyone remembers? Tesham
तेषां
satata
सत्त्वयुक्तानां भजतं प्रीतिपूर्वकं ददामि बुद्धियोगं तं येन माम् उपयन्ते.
Thank you. So that is the previous verse. So there, Lord Krishna said, Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam. One who is constantly engaged in devotional service, I give buddhi yoga. So then there Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained what is that buddhi yoga. What is that intelligence? The Lord is entering the buddhi vritti, we said. So that point is being further elaborated in this verse. So that today's verse is Tesham evanukampartham. Anukampa. Anukampa means by the mercy of the Lord. Tesham eva anukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavastho jnana dipena bhasvata. So we will discuss a few points each day because we have to read Bhagavatam also. But just to begin the discussion, the living entity in the conditioned state, so this Jivatma is a spirit soul. You see, the spirit soul is covered by subtle body and gross body. So this subtle body is, so the Jivatma can be covered by either avidya or vidya. Okay, so when it is covered by avidya, then the living entity forgets its identity and considers itself to be this body. When the living entity does nishkama karma means what? Nishkama karma yoga means you are doing karma but you give up the results. You keep doing your duty as a matter of duty, not because you want to enjoy the results. You do it because it's your dharma to do your duty. Like that, you do that duty and you give up the results. Don't be attached to the results. You sacrifice the results. This is called nishkama karma. By doing this nishkama karma, this avidya is replaced by vidya. What is the effect of vidya? When vidya is there covering the living entity, at that time the living entity is able to see itself as a spirit soul. It is not under the illusion of thinking that I am this body, rather it's able to see itself as a spirit soul. So avidya is compared to darkness. In darkness, if there is no light, can you see yourself? No. If it is absolutely pitch dark, you cannot see yourself. What you look like, you cannot see yourself in the mirror also. So avidya is like darkness. When there is avidya, you cannot see your true self. Therefore, avidya is compared to darkness. And vidya is compared to light. When there is light, then you can see yourself in the mirror. You see who you are, what you look like, and everything. So Vidya is compared to light. When there is Vidya, you are able to see yourself, who you are as a spirit soul. But when there is Avidya, because it is darkness, you are not able to see yourself. Now coming to this shloka, what did we say is Buddhi Yoga? Buddhi Yoga means Bhagavad Sakshatkara. This pure devotee from Bhava stage onwards, by the mercy of the Lord, begins to experience the Lord directly. First, he will experience the Lord in the form of vrittis in the heart. That's also direct experience, but he's experiencing the Lord internally. Within his heart, he's seeing the Lord. Within his heart, he's listening, he's hearing his sound, like that. Within his heart, he's smelling also. Through the transcendental vritti of the Lord in the heart. It's not material vritti, transcendental vritti. And then after bhava stage, when he comes to prema, the Lord is not only experiencing him as inside the heart, he will actually see the Lord in front of his eyes. So he will manifest externally in front of the devotee. So now, not only is the devotee able to see the Lord, smell or hear, but he can also touch. Externally, he can touch the Lord and he can even taste. So this is possible in a pure devotee's case in prema stage. So that when he is experiencing the Lord, that is called Bhagavad Sakshatkara. This Bhagavad Sakshatkara is called Buddhi Yoga. That means the Lord is, by his sweet will, he himself is entering into the vritti of the devotee and manifesting himself to the devotee. So the question here is, just like in the case of Nishkama Karma Yogis, so Nishkama Karma Yoga is the basic platform for Jnanis and Yogis, Ashtanga Yogis and Jnanis. First step is they have to do Nishkama Karma. By doing Nishkama Karma Yoga, they will get purification of the heart. That purification of the heart means Antakarana Shuddhi. By that, avidya is replaced by vidya and they are able to see themselves as spirit soul. So, for one to see himself in reality, he needs vidya vritti. So here the question arises, in order to get Bhagavad Sakshatkaraha, does the devotee also need a vidya vritti? Like the Nishkama Karma Yogis or Jnanis and Yogis need vidya vritti. For them to actually see themselves as a spirit soul, they need vidya vritti. In order to get that vidya vritti, they first do Nishkama Karma Yoga. Do bhaktas also need this? Do devotees also need this type of work in order to get this vidya? And because vidya is like light, with light, when there is light, they are able to see themselves. Therefore, because of vidya, now they are going to get Bhagavad Sakshatkara. Can we think like this? The answer is no. You cannot get Bhagavad Sakshatkaraha by Vidya Vritti. So Vidya Vritti is not required to get the darshan of the Supreme Lord. Why? Why? So, because for one to receive the mercy of the Lord, one does not need to do any type of karma, nishkama karma, or one does not have to actually worry. To get this anukampa of the Lord, a devotee does not have to worry and do so many things, how to get this mercy of the Lord. He doesn't have to worry. The Lord, by his own sweet will, he manifests himself by his sweet will. It is not like a business deal that you do this, then I will give you this. You understand? For example, Vidyavritti is formed. When you do Nishkama Karma Yoga, then your Vidyavritti is formed. When Vidyavritti is formed, then you are able to see yourself as a spirit soul. But in Bhakti, if you get the Anukampa, if you get the mercy of the Lord, then by his mercy he will manifest himself. So there is nothing that the devotee has to do in order to get this mercy of the Lord. Of course, please don't forget here, the condition is, first of all, you have to be Ananya Bhakta. That is already said in the previous verse. Tesham Satata Yuktanam. That is Ananya Bhakta. Satata Yuktanam. Always 24/7. Bhajatam Priti Purvakam. He is always engaged in devotional service, in bhajan, in chanting the glories of the Lord, in hearing the glories of the Lord, in remembering the Lord, meditating on the Lord, like this. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam. And how he is meditating? Priti purvakam. These are the conditions that when he is doing, and that a devotee does, or he aspires to do that. And by doing that, he progresses through various stages. And at one point, he will receive the mercy of the Lord. And the Lord's mercy comes by his own sweet will, not that you have to do something extra in order to get the mercy of the Lord. That's the whole point. Okay? The rest of it we will discuss tomorrow about this verse's commentary by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Now let's read Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 5. Durvasa Muni, so Chapter 4 was Durvasa Muni offends Ambarish Maharaj. Then we saw how Ambarish Maharaj is feeling aggrieved seeing the condition of Durvasa Muni. And he is praying to Sudarshan Chakra to please, he's glorifying Sudarshan Chakra, how he is upholding the religious principles and how he is the glance of the Supreme Lord, and he is the sun, the moon, and how he acts like an inauspicious comet for those who are adharmis. So those who are adharmis, for them, Sudarshan Chakra is like death personified. So there we saw in that context, even if one is a Brahmana, still if he is envious of the Lord or envious of the devotee, then he is actually a demon. And demons are not spared by Sudarshan Chakra, like this. So in various ways, and also Sudarshan. Sudarshan means auspicious vision. So Sudarshan is actually going to give us the vision of the Supreme Lord, auspicious darshan, like that. So in various ways we saw how Ambarish Maharaj is glorifying Sudarshan Chakra. So let's continue. दुष्करः को नु साधूनां दुस्त्यजो वा महात्मनां यैः संगृहीतो भगवान् सात्वतां ऋषभो हरिः. Okay. Whose turn is it today? Priyanka Haripriya Mataji, remember?
Mataji, can you hear me?
Yes.
Mataji, last Medha read, I think.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. So Medha read. So next, Narsimha Leela Chaitanya Prabhu. Surut.
Hey, Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu. Translation.
For those who have achieved the supreme personality of Godhead, The master of the pure devotees, what is impossible to do and what is impossible to give up. Hare Krishna.
So, ready. For those who have achieved the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of the pure devotees, what is impossible to do and what is impossible to give up? So, why is Ambarish Maharaj saying this? Those who have achieved the Supreme Lord, what is impossible to do and what is impossible to give up? We'll continue reading to see why Ambarish Maharaj is saying this. यन्नामश्रुति मात्रेण पुमान् भवति निर्मलः तस्य तीर्थापदः किं वा दासानाम् अवशिष्यते. Surit?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
What is impossible for the servants of God? By the very hearing of His holy name, one is purified.
Yes. What is impossible for the servants of the Lord? By the very hearing of His holy name, one is purified. So the previous verse said, for those who have achieved the Supreme Lord, what is impossible to do? What is impossible to give up? So there is no feat that they cannot achieve. And also, what can they not do means they can do anything, they can take any amount of risk, and also they can give up anything, they can sacrifice anything. If you remember, I don't know if I mentioned this, about Vasudev, when he was offering each of his babies to Kamsa, in that context also it was said, Kamsa had, the prophecy, Akashwani said that the 8th son is going to kill Kamsa. And Kamsa also didn't ask Vasudev, you give every baby to me. Why Vasudev offered every single baby to Kamsa? Right? He could have just said, okay, Kamsa, I will give you the 8th son. Why did he offer every single baby? So there, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that, so glorifying Vasudev, what can a devotee not sacrifice for the sake of the Lord? That means how difficult it is for a father to sacrifice his newborn baby, firstborn baby, and every single baby one after another. Which father will be able to give, knowing that this person is going to kill this child? Who can do that? Nobody can do that. But a devotee of the Lord, because his attachment is only to the Supreme Lord. Vasudev's attachment to Krishna is far, far, far more than his attachment to his child as a father. That does not mean he is not a good father. It only means he's such a great lover of the Supreme Lord. So he is very eager to see the face of the Supreme Lord who is going to appear as his son. And out of that eagerness to expedite the appearance of Krishna, the Supreme Lord, and when he comes, he wanted to see the face of his dear Lord. So for that, he was ready to even sacrifice. First of all, he was giving birth to a child every year. He didn't have to give birth to a child, isn't it? Because if there are no children, then Kamsa will not kill. And they're all pure devotees, eternal associates of the Lord. It's not like, conditioned souls in an uncontrolled way, not being able to control their senses, they're giving birth to children. It's not like that. Still, every single year he was giving birth to a child. Why? Because he wanted to see the face of the Supreme Lord who would appear as his son. So for that, he was willing to go through this ordeal every year, producing one baby after another. There in that context, Sukadev Goswami is saying, what can a devotee not sacrifice for the sake of his Lord? We are hearing this statement again and again. Even Lord Vishnu told Durvasa Muni that my devotees risk everything for my sake. That is why the Lord is so affectionate to his devotees. So here also we are seeing the same thing. What is impossible for a devotee and what can a devotee not do? What can he not do means he can take any risk, like Hanumanji, right? He jumped across the ocean. He didn't even, he didn't remember his powers. But still, they were prepared to take any amount of risk. They can do anything for the sake of the Lord. The Vanaras built a bridge on the ocean. They can do anything. For the devotees, anything is possible. Anything which may be considered impossible in this world is possible for a devotee. That's one thing. And the other thing is, they can give up anything. For a mother to give up her newborn baby is not possible in this world. But a devotee can do that. Not one, but baby after baby. And it doesn't mean it was not painful. It does not mean that they didn't have affection for their children. Of course they had. But their love for the Supreme Lord was far superior than anything else. And they were willing to even endure the pain of a mother, a father, of losing their newborn baby, one after other, consecutively 6 babies. So there also, I'm just saying, in that context also it is said, what is not possible for a devotee and what will they not risk or give up for the sake of the Lord. And of course, in contrast about Kamsa also it is said, what will a sinful person not do? He can fall to the lowest level. He won't even think twice. That means he can kill. He won't think twice in killing newborn babies. That is the nature of a sinful person. He won't think twice about committing any abominable activity in contrast to a devotee. So here we are talking about the devotee, and Ambarish Maharaj is telling Sudarshan Chakra what is not possible for the servants of the Lord. By the very hearing of his holy name, one is purified. And if somebody is a servant of the Lord who has conquered the Lord's heart, because the Lord says, Aham Bhakta Paradhina, I'm controlled by my servants, by my devotees. Now, if somebody simply takes the holy name of the Lord, he becomes purified. Then what to speak of the devotees who have conquered the Lord? What is not possible for the devotees like that? So, by the very hearing of his holy name, one is purified. Rajan anugrihitoham vayati karunatmana mad agham prishtatah kritva pranayan me birakshitah. Okay, Spurti and Swarnangi Mataji are there.
Mataji, they're not here, Mataji.
Okay. Arunita, you are in Vindhyavali Mataji's room. Okay. Next is
We are going to the one second.
It's okay, they are going to hospital.
Acha, okay. Yeah.
He will go to school.
Okay. All right. So next is Priyanka Haripriya Mataji, right?
Translation. Okay. Overlooking my offenses, you have saved my life. Thus, I am very much obliged to you because you are so merciful.
Yeah. Okay. Overlooking my offenses. Sorry. This is not. I should have gone over the translations before starting. Sorry. Let me go back a couple of verses. So this is Durvasa Muni speaking to Ambarish Maharaj. So that part is over. After, see, what did Ambarish Maharaj say? Ambarish Maharaj, that what, if you remember, Ambarish Maharaj was speaking to Sudarshan Chakra, and then he said, if all my ancestors, if they have done whatever charity they have given and whatever vratas they have performed,
Give up everything.
whatever punya karma, in exchange of all that, please, you release this Durvasa Muni. Have mercy on him. And then he said, if the Supreme Lord is pleased by my devotional service even a little bit, then may the Supreme Lord give shelter to this Durvasa Muni. Like that he prayed. And then by hearing the prayers of Ambarish Maharaj, what did Sudarshan Chakra do? Sudarshan Chakra was pacified and Sudarshan Chakra left Durvasa Muni, was not going after Durvasa Muni. And when Durvasa Muni saw that he is not feeling this burning sensation from Sudarshan Chakra anymore, he felt so relieved. He felt so relieved. And then he started giving benedictions to Ambarish Maharaj. He wanted to bestow benedictions upon Ambarish Maharaj, thanking him. So these verses are actually spoken by Durvasa Muni to Ambarish Maharaj. Okay, my mistake, sorry. So I'll read text 12. Sukadev Goswami continued, when the king offered prayers to the Sudarshan Chakra and Lord Vishnu, because of his prayers, the Sudarshan Chakra became peaceful and stopped burning the Brahmana known as Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni, the greatly powerful mystic, was indeed satisfied when freed from the fire of the Sudarshan Chakra. Thus he praised the qualities of Maharaj Ambarish and offered him the highest benedictions. So how did he praise the qualities of Ambarish Maharaj? Durvasa Muni said, my dear king, today I have experienced the greatness of devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For although I have committed an offense, you have prayed for my good fortune. For those who have, and then these two verses come, right? I am seeing the greatness of the Lord's devotees. How great are the devotees? I committed an offense to you, but still you are praying on my behalf for my good fortune. And then further he's saying, for those who have achieved the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of the pure devotees, what is impossible to do and what is impossible to give up? So here, what is impossible to do means, if somebody has, like we were discussing the other day, if somebody has offended you very badly, then to forgive that person, to say, okay, it's okay, is one thing. But to actually offer everything that you have in order to make that person happy, who has harmed you like anything, who intended to even kill you, such an envious person, and you're willing to give everything, all your hard earned, right, credits, everything you're willing to give to that person. It's not possible in this world. But what is not possible for a devotee? The devotees are so great. So that is one thing. And what can they not give up, right? They can give up everything, all the pious credits, everything. They can sacrifice anything. So what is not impossible to do and what is impossible to give up for the devotees? Then what is impossible for the servants of the Lord? By the very hearing of his holy name, one is purified. So, and these servants have conquered the Lord like that. So now next text 17. So this is after. So Priyanka Haripriya Mataji, did you read this? No, right?
Yes, Mataji, I read this one.
You read this one, okay. So, O King, overlooking my offenses, you have saved my life. Thus, I am very much obliged to you because you are so merciful. Yeah. So I'm, I offended you and still you saved my life. Actually, if you really want to teach a lesson to the enemy, generally we think the way to teach a lesson is to, if they have harmed me, once, I should harm them twice, tit for tat. And that's how I teach a lesson to the enemy. But actually, when someone harms you, and in return, like exactly like Ambarish Maharaj did, right? Durvasa Muni tried to kill him, and Ambarish Maharaj is offering everything that he has for the sake of benefiting this person who even tried to kill him. And that caused a change of heart in Durvasa Muni. So he said, I offended you, and you have saved my life in exchange. I offended you, I tried to kill you, and in return for that, you saved my life. I'm very much obliged to you because you're so merciful. Rajatam akritaharaha pratyagamanakankshaya charanav upasangrihya prasadya samabhojayat. Saujanya Mataji and Pragya.
Translation. Expecting the return of the Rasamuni, the king had not taken his food. Therefore, when the sage returned, the king fell at his lotus feet, pleasing him in all respects, and fed him sumptuously.
Yeah, nicely. Up to his neck. Nicely prasadam was fed. So Durvasa Muni is like he was like, in Hindi they say bhor vibhor ho jana, right? He's like amazed, and he's ecstatic seeing the devotional qualities of Ambarish Maharaj, and he said, I'm very, very obliged to you. Now, what was Ambarish Maharaj's response to this? Ambarish Maharaj is falling on the feet of Durvasa Muni. Oh, you have not taken prasadam yet. Please take prasadam, washing his feet and serving him his nice prasadam and feeding him sumptuously. All this for 1 year, Ambarish Maharaj was waiting for Durvasa Muni to return. And when he came back, and Ambarish Maharaj didn't eat anything all this time. And when Durvasa Muni came back, first of all, he prayed to Sudarshan Chakra and made Durvasa Muni free from anxiety. Then he sat him down nicely and fed him sumptuous prasadam. When the sage returned, the king fell at his lotus feet, pleasing him in all respects, and fed him sumptuously. So sitvadritam anitam Soshitvadratamanitam Atityam Sarvakamikam Triptatma Nripatim Praha Bhujyatam Iti Sadaram. Actually, Nilambari Radha Mataji, sorry, I didn't see you, Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji. Dandavat Pranam Mataji, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
I'll read the translation, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Thus the king respectively received Durvasa Muni, who after eating varieties of palatable food was so satisfied that with great affection he requested the king to eat also saying, please take your meal. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thus the king respectfully received Durvasa Muni. He fed Durvasa Muni. Durvasa Muni was the guest. So he fed Durvasa Muni sumptuously and very respectfully. After eating varieties of palatable food and being fully satisfied, now Durvasa Muni, with a lot of affection, he requested Ambarish Maharaj to also take his prasadam, to take his meal. Originally, Durvasa Muni was offended because Ambarish Maharaj drank water without first feeding Durvasa Muni, who was his guest, which was according to him, a transgression of the etiquette of a grihastha. When a guest comes to your house, you feed the guest first before eating. So because Ambarish Maharaj drank some water, Durvasa Muni got so mad. Now Durvasa Muni, after he was fed nicely by Ambarish Maharaj, is saying, my dear king, please you also take your meal. Because he understood that Ambarish Maharaj didn't eat anything. And not just for a few hours, for one whole year. And 1 year before that he was observing his vrata anyway. And now for 1 year he was waiting for Durvasa Muni. So with great affection, Durvasa Muni said, please take your meal. Pritosmyanugrihitosmi tava bhagavatasya vai darshanasparshanaalapair atithyenatma medhasa. Saujanya Mataji.
Mataji, I'm ready to drive, so I cannot read today. Sorry.
Okay, Mataji. Sorry. Vindhyavali Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Durvasa Muni said, I am very pleased with you, my dear king. At first I thought of you as an ordinary human being and accepted your hospitality, but later I could understand by my own intelligence that you are the most exalted devotee of the Lord. Therefore, simply by seeing you, touching your feet, and talking with you, I have been pleased and have become obliged to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So Durvasa Muni said, I am very pleased with you, my dear king. At first, I thought of you as an ordinary human being and accepted your hospitality, right? So, sadhus go to grihasthas to do some benefit to them because grihasthas are always busy in their household activities and they are not able to focus on spiritual life so much. So many things to divert their attention away from spiritual life. Some emergency comes or something else, this, that. So they are just always getting distracted from the spiritual focus. So therefore from time to time sadhus go to the homes of grihasthas to remind them of the purpose of human form of life. So when sadhus come, the grihasthas render service to the sadhus, and in this way they're actually reminded of the spiritual life, and also service to sadhus is good for the grihasthas, right? It's good for them. So good means depending on the sadhu, so it's for their spiritual life, right? I mean, certainly it's a pious credit serving sadhus, but also spiritually it is beneficial. So therefore sadhus go to the homes of grihasthas, not because they want something from them. Sadhus have already renounced all material pleasures. After renouncing the material pleasures, that's when they are going to realize, the absolute. Why they will come back to the material world to enjoy from a grihastha's home, isn't it? But still they go to ordinary grihastha's homes to do them some benefit. So Durvasa Muni is saying, I'm very pleased with you. In the beginning, I thought you are an ordinary householder. So therefore, I accepted your hospitality. Because by accepting your hospitality, I will be doing you some good, isn't it? But later, I could understand by my own intelligence that you are the most exalted devotee of the Lord. You are not just a householder, ordinary householder. You are actually a Vaishnava, Mahabhagavat Vaishnava. Therefore, simply by seeing you, touching your feet and talking with you, I have been pleased and have become obliged to you. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoi. Right? All Shastras say that By even getting a moment's association with a pure devotee, you get all perfection of life. So association means you hear from them, you touch them, wash their lotus feet, right? Or you put a garland on them, you feed them, like that. So one way or the other, even for a moment, you get the association of a pure devotee, then your life is perfect, right? Life is perfected. Sarva siddhi hoy, all perfection. You achieve all perfection simply by a moment's association of a pure devotee. So Durvasa Muni is saying, initially I couldn't understand your exalted position. I thought you were an ordinary householder. But later, by my own intelligence, I could see you are actually the most exalted Vaishnava, devotee of the Lord. So therefore, even a little association with you is very purifying and it's very pleasing to the heart. I experienced it personally simply by seeing you, touching your feet. Durasamani fell on the feet of Ambarish Maharaj, right? So touching your feet and talking with you. I have been pleased and I became obliged to you. So purport, Achyut Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Vaishnava Kriya Mutra Vitneha Na Bhujaya. Even a very intelligent man cannot understand the activities of a pure Vaishnava. Therefore, although Durvasa Muni was a great mystic yogi, he first mistook Maharaj Ambarish for an ordinary human being and wanted to punish him. Such is the mistaken observation of a Vaishnava. When Durvasa Muni was persecuted by the Sudarshan Chakra, however, his intelligence developed. Therefore, the word Atma Nidasa is used to indicate that by his personal experience he would understand how great a Vaishnava the king was. When Durvasa Muni was chased by the Sudarshan Chakra, he wanted to take shelter of Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, and he was even able to go to the spiritual world, meet the personality of Godhead, and talk with him face to face, yet he was unable to be rescued from the attack of the Sudarshan Chakra. Thus, he could understand the influence of a Vaishnava by personal experience. Durvasa Muni was certainly a great yogi and a very learned Brahmana, but despite his being a real yogi, he was unable to understand the influence of a Vaishnava. Therefore, it is said, Vaishnava Kriya Mudra Vidvinana Bhujaya. Even the most learned person cannot understand the value of a Vaishnava. There is always a possibility for so-called jnanis and yogis to be mistaken when studying the character of a Vaishnava. A Vaishnava can be understood by how much he is favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in terms of his inconsumable activities. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Okay, so Durvasa Muni is saying that first thing is, initially I thought you're an ordinary person, but later I could understand by my own intelligence. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining what does that mean? By his own intelligence means, so he didn't have his intelligence before. So by my own intelligence means Prabhupada is saying only after he was chased by Sudarshan Chakra, after that difficulty, his intelligence was awakened. And now he was able to recognize the position of Ambarish Maharaj. So in this context also, we see in I believe it is in Bhakti Sandarbha, either Bhakti Sandarbha or Madhurya Kadamini, because in both we discussed this point. Bhakti Sandarbha by Srila Jiva Goswami, Madhurya Kadambini by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So there it is said that when you commit an offense, to the holy name specifically. Because when you commit offenses to the deity, to the dham, and other offenses, by chanting Hare Krishna without offenses, those offenses will be nullified. But if you commit offense to the holy name himself, then who will save us? So what will be the consequence of that offense? Offense to the holy name. Because of that offense, now you will not be able to, so there are, uh, anarthas that come because of offenses, right? Different anarthas come. And you lose taste for chanting also. Now you don't even chant. Because of the offense to the holy name, gradually, step by step, you become proud and all that, and you lose taste in chanting. And you commit more offenses like this. So, how can we come out of this offense? So, it is important that one has to first suffer some punishment. When we suffer some punishment, by that suffering, the effect of that offense is minimized. The offense itself is not nullified, but the effect of that offense is minimized. So it is essential that we must undergo some suffering. So when suffering comes on its own accord, it's a blessing by the Lord. It's actually a blessing, because that suffering is going to minimize our offense. Okay. It's going to minimize our offense. So here Durvasa Muni also suffered because Sudarshan Chakra was chasing after him. As a result of that suffering, now his intelligence was awakened and he was able to recognize Ambarish Maharaj as a great Vaishnava. The qualities of Ambarish Maharaj he was able to recognize. That's one point. And then Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Vigyeha na bujhai. So it is not easy, or it is not possible actually, to understand a Vaishnava by his Kriya and Mudra, by his activities or by his gestures. You won't be able to recognize a Vaishnava. Vaishnavas have many qualities. They are grave, right? There is one pastime of Srila Prabhupada. There's a picture of Srila Prabhupada in which Srila Prabhupada looks very serious, very serious. So some devotee actually, when that incident, or maybe they showed that picture, or they talked about that picture, and they said, Prabhupada, you looked really serious in this picture, like you looked very disturbed. And Srila Prabhupada said, actually, I was in great ecstasy. Externally, it looked like he was very disturbed, but actually, what was inside, you cannot tell from outside. So it's not, and what to speak of, only another Vaishnava of that caliber can understand. So Srila Prabhupada is writing in the purport, there is always a possibility for so-called Gyanis and Yogis to be mistaken when studying the character of a Vaishnava. They will mistake a Vaishnava. There is always a possibility that so-called yogis and jnanis will mistake the character of a Vaishnava. So in this case, Durvasa Muni was a yogi. No doubt, he was a very, he was a real yogi and a very learned Brahmana, but still he was unable to understand Ambarish Maharaj, a Vaishnava. So that is the point. Then, how can we understand a Vaishnava? That is also said. You can understand a Vaishnava by how much he is favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead in terms of his inconceivable activities. So Vaishnava does inconceivable activities. Here Durvasa Muni said, what is impossible for a Vaishnava? How Ambarish Maharaj was not only able to forgive Durvasa Muni, but also he was able to save him, deliver him from Sudarshan Chakra. Inconceivable activities of Vaishnava, you can understand how he is favored by the Lord, and by this you can see how exalted a Vaishnava is. Okay, so we can stop Srimad Bhagavatam reading here. Let me check. So tomorrow we will begin with Achintadev Prabhu. Arunita and Aditi Lata Mataji will begin reading. And we are supposed to begin Bhagavad Gita again. We won't do it today because it's already late. Maybe quickly we will read a short paragraph from Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita just to keep the continuity. And tomorrow we will begin Bhagavad Gita. So continuation of Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita. On the 19th of September, the Jaladuta sailed into New York Harbor and docked at a Brooklyn pier at 17th Street. Srila Prabhupada saw the awesome Manhattan skyline, the Empire State Building, and like millions of visitors and immigrants in the past, the Statue of Liberty. Srila Prabhupada was dressed appropriately for a resident of Vrindavan. He wore kanti mala, neck beads, and a simple cotton dhoti, and he carried japamala, chanting beads, and an old chadar or shawl. His complexion was golden, his head shaven, sikha in the back, his forehead decorated with the whitish Vaishnava tilak. He wore pointed white rubber slippers, not uncommon for sadhus in India. But who in New York had ever seen or dreamed of anyone appearing like this Vaishnav? He was possibly the first Vaishnav sannyasi to arrive in New York with uncompromised appearance. Of course, New Yorkers have an expertise in not giving much attention to any kind of strange new arrival. So with that, I will end today's session. Thank you all devotees. All of you have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. We will meet tomorrow. Hare Krishna.